Good evening, YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. I have the lighting and I have the fan, and I feel good. Right now the time is approximately 10:47 p.m. Eastern Time, and the date is Saturday, September 21st, 2019. The Sun is currently in Virgo, although in my part of the world, the Northern Hemisphere, the Sun will enter Libra in 2 days, and the Moon is waning in Cancer. This is the official video for the October 2019 Great Goddess Circle. The divine debut of the Great Goddess Circles went with a few hitches, but I recovered. My awesome audiovisual person has almost recovered, and the participants, the 3 registered participants of the divine debut of the Great Goddess Circles, which was approximately 2 weeks ago, have now received their registration for next month's Great Goddess Circle at no extra charge. So if you had registered, you could have gotten that too. You know, it's so funny because this is the second event that I've led that is a simulcast event, meaning that one can participate in person or online. And the vast majority of the people that live or work in the New York City area have participated online. I find it funny and fascinating and amusing and intriguing, because in my mind I would think, well, there'd be more participants who do not live or work in the New York City area, but so far that hasn't been the case. So if you've had a thought that you can't participate online, or you can't participate at all because you don't live or work in the New York City area, oh boy, how wrong you are. Because at this point, it's like, really. I do want to mention that because of the last minute participant of this month's Great Goddess Circle, I'm not going to be using Eventbrite for the time being. To be perfectly honest, I had no idea that there was a problem with the Eventbrite pages I was creating, because nobody told me, except for this one participant. So, you know, given how especially busy September through December is for me regarding my professional psychic practice, and also given that my awesome audiovisual person has been especially busy lately with both his day job and his personal responsibilities and obligations, it is not conducive for his schedule and mine at the present time to sit down and go through what I did incorrectly. And I'm holding myself responsible for this, because clearly I did something incorrectly with regards to creating my Eventbrite pages. And I don't know what that is. But I feel that my awesome audiovisual person need to have a bare minimum of 2 hours to go through the Eventbrite pages I created thus far, all the emails and all the instructions that I have from Eventbrite. And right now that doesn't work for his schedule or mine individually or collectively. So we're not going to do that at the time being. But what we are going to do is keep doing what we're doing. I'm very happy that I can now upload my videos with no technical difficulties, not as is. That makes me especially happy. But getting back to October's Great Goddess Circle, it is taking place on Monday, October 7th, 2019, from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. By the time this video is completely uploaded, it shall have an accompanying blog post, and it shall also have in the blog post the link to my paypal.me page, where you can register for that particular Great Goddess Circle. I'm very excited about it because I knew from several months ago that that the guided meditation was going to focus on 3 different goddesses. All 3 of these goddesses are triple goddesses. And I knew who 2 of them were, and I'll give you a hint. They both have festival dates in October, but I didn't know who the 3rd one was. And it wasn't an issue with me after a short period of time. I mean, the first 2 or 3 days, I'm like, well, who is it? And it was like, okay, Robert, you know what? You're going to calm down, number one. And number two, she shall reveal herself to you when she's good and ready. Now, here's the interesting thing. When I was at Notions and Potions last weekend, my first reading of the day on Friday, September 13th, 2019, was with a wonderful person whose energy I love and adore, and for whom I gave a reading using The Goddess Oracle by Amy Sophia Marashinsky, illustrated by Harana Janto. And the interesting thing is, this is the goddess-themed oracle card deck that I have been divinely guided to use for my third, as opposed to my first or second goddess course. So far, the goddess has not changed her mind on this. And I know that for some people this is not their favorite deck. They don't resonate with it. They don't like the imagery. I have no issue with that. I really don't. It bothers me only because I don't feel comfortable with the thought of saying, well, use whatever goddess deck you want. Because that kind of defeats the purpose. It's like, well, if I'm going to give this person that option, then I'm going to feel obligated to give other people that option. And it's not going to be cohesive. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to be embarking on that journey together. And for me, a multi-class course is a journey, you know. I know that there have been times when I could not continue a particular journey, and I always have an issue with that because I feel like I should have been there, but, you know, things happen. But I do now know who that triple goddess is, and the irony is, I never knew her as a triple goddess until this particular goddess-themed oracle card deck. I had never read anywhere that she's a triple goddess. Not in any book, not in any novel, not in anything prior to this particular deck. So I'm looking forward to the guided meditation I'm going to lead in less than 2 to 3 weeks about these particular goddesses. They're actually showing me how the flow of the guided meditation is going to be. I'm very excited about it. I'm really looking forward to it. And there is a topic that I'm going to be discussing which I didn't even know about until a few hours ago. And I was like, oh, okay, well, sure, let's do that. So I think that for this particular Great Goddess Circle, I'm going to need to create a syllabus. Because I'm like, there's so much going on. But it's so funny because I remember giving readings at a restaurant on Staten Island several years ago, and I distinctly remember giving one reading that night with this deck. Every other deck was either a tarot deck or another oracle card deck, but this one deck I used with one client, and I remember saying to her, this is one of my witch decks. And she's like, that's so funny you say that because I'm being drawn to witchcraft. I'm like, of course you are. So yeah, I've been calling The Goddess Oracle by Amy Sophia Marashinsky, illustrated by Harana Janto, as a witch deck for several years. And it really is for me. It really is. I find that when I give a reading with this deck, it is almost always to someone who is either a witch, meaning a practicing witch, or somebody who practices the art and craft of the wise, or they have begun the journey to the art and craft of the wise. But it's not a Wiccan-themed deck. It's not a witch-oriented deck. But I find that for me personally and energetically and psychically, what are you doing, Isis? You want to be in the video, but you keep like, oh my goddess. Okay, Isis, you need to cut it out. I love you, but you need to stop. If you want my attention, why don't you come and sit in my lap? She keeps shaking her head. Oh, that made me dizzy. Let me not do that. So in the meantime, I am looking forward to this particular Great Goddess Circle, and I shall have a new 2020 calendar planner for 2020 before the end of the year. And I'm very excited about that because, just a brief sacred sidebar, it is the I. No, that's not the name of the calendar planner. You know, I think maybe sometimes I'd rather have a boring life, if only for a day. And just for my awesome audiovisual person's peace of mind, we're keeping that in the video. We are, because you know what? We're keeping it. Isis. Now you're not looking at me. Really. You're giving me attitude. You clawed me and you're giving me attitude. This, what a... Okay, I need to get back on topic because this video's had way too many sidebars and tangents. So, I am very excited about the fact that there is going to be a Many Moons 2020 lunar planner. Very, very excited about this. I still have not done the videos for the Many Moons 2019 lunar planner for September, which does have a tarot and oracle card prompt. And I have yet to do the one for September for Llewellyn's 2019 tarot calendar. They're forthcoming, I promise. I promise they are forthcoming. But yes, so those of you who are interested in registering for the upcoming Great Goddess Circle of Monday, October 7th, 2019, 7 to 30 p.m. Eastern, 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, you will have the opportunity to register once this video is live and published. And I highly recommend you register as soon as possible because I do not know yet what particular goddess-graced gift the participants of that particular Great Goddess Circle are going to receive. It's not going to be the same as the first one. I can tell you that. It will be a different one. I just don't know what it is yet. I'm curious too, actually. Oh, and that's Isis drinking water from the metal bowl. It's funny how she doesn't want to be in the video, but she wants to make her presence known. I need to have a chat with Isis, the alpha female, and probably a chat with the goddess Isis too. Although I talk to her every day, but I think I need to have a specific chat with her. It is no coincidence that lunar colors have become more predominant in my life. And I actually want to show you something that I purchased at Notions and Potions when I was there this past weekend. And it was haunting me. I was not going to be able to leave until I purchased it. Look at this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous journal. And I love that it's refillable. I've never been really one for refillable journals. Hold on one moment. Is everything okay? You sure? Okay. Sorry, I got massively distracted by my awesome audiovisual person who at this point knows much better than to do that. But I've never been one for refillable journals, and it is a refillable journal. I need to find out if Notions and Potions is going to carry the refills or if I can order them separately. But I gotta tell you, I saw this and this silver gray moon. I was like, Robert, don't you even think of leaving the store without buying this. And it has a pen holder for my purple pens, because you know it'll be a purple pen. And I'm looking at this like, what am I going to use this for? I mean, really, I don't know what I'm going to use it for. I have a slight idea, but I'm not sure yet. So I'm really happy with it. And I've never been one for cream-colored pages, but I'm just like, yeah, the whole thing. In fact, I was actually surprised when I saw that I'm wearing predominantly Martial colors. I'm wearing Mars and Saturn colors as opposed to lunar colors, even though I'm talking about the next Great Goddess Circle, which will be around the time of the waxing moon. It will be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Why am I making this difficult for myself? 6 days before the full moon in Aries. Yes. So I'm surprised that I'm wearing martial and saturnine colors to discuss something that's going to happen during a waxing moon phase. But it happens. I wanted to change the pace, but predominantly I have been wearing more lunar colors, and the moon has been making her presence much more prominent in my life than she already does. And it's so funny because one of the people that I recently began following on Instagram is Shaheen Miro. Shaheen the Dream, who co-wrote Tarot for Troubled Times with Teresa Reed, also known as the Tarot Lady. And his Lunar Nomad Oracle has been drawing me more and more, which fascinates me because when I look at the imagery, I'm like, But I've seen his posts on his Instagram account, and I see the same images, and it's like now all of a sudden I'm drawn to it. Go figure. But yeah, I'm really feeling the moon a lot more strongly, which is one of the reasons why I've been wearing this pendant a whole lot more. And I am going to ask my awesome audiovisual person to do a quick close-up of this pendant. This was, by the way, my awesome audiovisual person turned me on to Etsy, and I'm forever thankful to him for doing that. And I love this pendant. I love the triple moon. It's one of my personal favorite symbols. I had this in my Etsy cart for at least 6 months, probably closer to 9 to 10 months, and it was still there. I will happily include the link to the Etsy shop seller, but I gave this to myself months ago because I knew I wanted to wear this for the very first Great Goddess Circle, and I did. But the interesting thing is that now I've been wearing it virtually every day. And it's funny because I have pieces of jewelry that I wear virtually every day, but very rarely pendants or necklaces. Usually it's rings and bracelets that I wear every day. Like this particular magnetic bracelet, and the bracelet of my winged Osset Isis, and this beautiful bracelet that was a gift from a client, 14 karat gold and semi-precious gemstones carved to resemble scarabs. I've had these bracelets for years, and I almost never take them off. The magnetic bracelet I've been divinely guided to wear, divinely directed to wear for a while now, but I've only been wearing it ongoingly for about 2 months. But it's still here, and it's going to be here for a while, I think. But the other 2 bracelets I've been wearing for years and years. But yeah, but pendants and necklaces I don't usually wear all the time, but this one has been sticking around. And I have a feeling it is going to be around for a while, actually. Well, YouTube, as always, thank you so much for honoring who I am and what I do. I am so thankful that all of you have been spreading the word about my events, about my psychic services. Thank you so much for the likes. Thank you so much for the shares. The shares are what's really happening for me, and I'm paying that forward. So there are a lot of you who know about my YouTube channel. I've been happily sharing your videos via Pinterest, via Twitter, via Tumblr, and if I used Facebook, I'd probably be sharing it on Facebook too. But yeah, I really have no problem with anybody using Facebook, but I cannot use it again. I have not used Facebook since Monday, November 21st, 2016. I have no regrets. If you use Facebook, good for you. If you're happy using Facebook, even better for you. I can't do it anymore. I just can't. And I'm okay. I'm really okay with that. Every once in a while I have a moment that's like, maybe. And I get over it so fast. I'm just like, no. But people can share my videos on Facebook. You can do that. You can make the link happen. It's very easy. But I do wish all of you many blessings of love and light and life, of wealth and health and happiness, of joy, riches and success, of peace, health and plenty. And if you want to avail yourselves of my psychic services, the time to book is now. And good night.